Now you can run your Microsoft 365 apps on RDS all the way until 2029.
Hi everyone. Apologies for my hiatus from the RDP Hard channel, but during the second half of this year, I've been hard at work leading development efforts here at RDPsoft. About a month ago, we just released our new Sysmundo utility, which is a digital forensics and incident response program that leverages the free Microsoft sysinternals Sysmon utility. Basically, Sysmundo can keep tabs on all sorts of user behavior and program activity on your Windows networks, drawing your attention to aberrant behavior and indicators of compromise from malware. Best of all, it does all of this without needing to leverage a SIEM in the background, so you're not paying for data ingestion costs like you would be with Splunk, Azure Log Analytics, and other vendors. It's a freemium tool, so please download a copy from www.rdpsoft.com/sysmundo, play around with it, and send us your feedback. I'll have a new RDP Hard video out shortly on the benefits of using Sysmon in end-user computing environments, which will also show you how Sysmundo makes working with Sysmon a lot easier. But I digress. Let me get to the exciting news at hand, which came out of Microsoft Ignite a few weeks ago. Hat tip to my friend Ruben Sprite, who's the field CTO at Dision, for drawing my attention to this with his post on X. In my last RDP Hard episode months ago, I made a prediction that RDS is here to stay well into the 2030s, since Server 2022 will not hit the end of extended support until October of 2031. I also stated that while Microsoft had been playing games around whether or not Microsoft 365 apps would stay supported on Windows Server for years now, they always managed to relent in the end and offer support for 365 apps on the latest version of Windows Server. And finally, I predicted that RDS would still be available as an installable feature in the coming version of Windows Server vNext. Well, whether it was due to me and others haranguing them, or the fact that they are finally realizing that the future of cloud computing is truly hybrid for most organizations, they've stopped playing these games and have now announced support for Microsoft 365 apps in the next version of Windows Server. Basically, they've now codified a policy whereby Microsoft 365 apps will be supported on new versions of Windows Server and RDS during the 5-year period of mainstream support. In Server 2022, they previously announced that M365 apps would be supported until October 2026, which coincidentally was the end of mainstream support on 2022, so this makes sense. Now, during this announcement at Ignite, they also indicated that RDS will still be available in Server vNext, and that M365 apps will be supported on Server vNext during its 5-year period of mainstream support. Assuming a 2024 release of Server vNext, this will mean that M365 app support is guaranteed for on-premises RDS all the way until 2029. But please, don't take my word for it. Let me roll the clip from the Microsoft Ignite session itself.
This is one I just want to address. So people ask questions, hey, what's the story going to be for M365 apps running on Windows Server today and on the next version? And so, and this is important for everybody running remote desktop services. So you're running remote desktop services and you're running it on-prem, you want to, and having M365 app support is critical to you. We embrace you, we love you, it's not going anywhere. That's the key message I want to deliver here. So today, we support M365 on Windows Server 22 for the mainstream support cycle. That's the first 5 years of the release. And then we do releases, as you know, every 2 to 3 years of Windows Server. We're going to continue that story with vNext. So again, vNext, we will support M365 apps on vNext for the mainstream support cycle. And it's a really easy story, right? So we, first 5 years of support, we release releases every 2 to 3 years. So as long as you stay current, you stay secure, you stay supported. So we got a link there where you can learn more. So
here's the bottom line. This is great news for organizations that don't want to lift and shift their remoting environments up to Azure for cost or other business reasons. And since Microsoft is now committed to a 5-year mainstream support cycle for M365 apps on Windows Server RDS, The economics of refreshing hardware and RDS CALs over 5 years instead of 3 makes a tremendous difference in cost when compared to lifting and shifting RDS up into Azure Virtual Desktop. On the order of 60 to 75% savings, in fact. If you don't believe me, go back and watch RDP Hard Episode 2, The Cost of AVD is Too Damn High. Now you might make the argument that, well Andy, there are no Microsoft Teams optimizations for regular old RDS like there are in Azure Virtual Desktop. To which I would respond with, have you seen how many problems folks are having getting Teams to run in Azure Virtual Desktop right now? Including the new Teams version that's supposed to use fewer resources? Spending 3 to 4 times the money on Azure Virtual Desktop just to try and get a marginally better user experience for a piece of free, buggy software Microsoft's crammed into the M365 offering doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You can still use the chat and other collaboration features of Teams and RDS, you just don't use the call and video features. And in almost any collaboration software scenario, like Teams or Zoom, it makes sense to conduct calls and videos on the edge client device instead of the server side. So let's recap all of the information we just learned and how to best leverage it to realize the most savings for your remoting infrastructure. On-premises and private data center RDS is here to stay in Server vNext, which means on-premises and private data center RDS will be around until 2034 at the earliest. Microsoft's new policy moving forward is to support Microsoft 365 apps on RDS in new Windows Server releases for the 5-year mainstream support period, which means M365 apps for on-premises and private data center RDS will be supported at least until 2029. If you are currently running RDS on Windows Server 2019, I would recommend skipping the upgrade to Server 2022 and instead upgrade to Server vNext by October of 2025, which is when M365 app support ends for Windows Server 2019. This ensures another 4 years of M365 app support on Windows Server vNext. In conclusion, the market's made it clear that the future of cloud computing is hybrid, not public cloud only. For most organizations, it's simply not worth the increased cost and pain to lift and shift their end-user computing platform from on-premises or private data center up to Azure at the moment. These organizations should use technologies like AVD or Windows 365 Cloud PC more sparingly, such as in failover scenarios for work continuity. Microsoft's latest announcements around continued RDS support in Server vNext and continued Microsoft 365 app support should have you breathing easier and reduce your inclination to jump to a pure cloud strategy out of fear instead of sound economics.
Hi there. If you'd like me to make more of this content, please do one of the following. First, like this video and click the notification bell below to subscribe to the RDP Hard channel. Second, download my company's free Remote Desktop Commander Lite tool to help you manage sessions on your RDS and AVD farms. It's more powerful and much faster than the built-in RDS Manager. Third, consider purchasing my RDP Own book on how to secure your RDS environments. It's only $9.99 on Amazon Kindle. Fourth, start a subscription to one or more of my company's commercial RDS and AVD monitoring and management tools. We offer very affordable monthly subscriptions you can use for as little or as long as you need. I think you'll find we deliver more value than just about any other RDS monitoring tool in the marketplace. Thank you. See you on my next video.